Hi, thanks for taking the time out to watch this video of my testimony. My name's Raymond Douglas. I'm married to Lynette and we have one little girl called Hannah. So my journey with God began at an early age. I thank God for the privilege of being brought up in a Christian home. My parents were Christian and we were sent along to Sunday school, we were sent along to kids clubs and children's meetings, and I suppose from an early age I would have known the gospel and I would have heard it preached. So I thank God for that, but it wasn't until I suppose I was 8 or 9 years old that I suppose the things of God started to concern me, and I began to get in trouble about it. I can remember sort of that age being just a real worry of what would happen to me if I died. I knew what would happen if I died. I knew at that age, even as a young child, I knew that I was, before the eyes of God, I was a sinner, and I knew that if I died I was going to go to hell. So that was quite frightening for a young boy. So for I suppose a period of a couple of years, I would have prayed to God and have asked God that He would make me a better person, that He would save me, but I couldn't grasp it. I still thought that I had to do good things. I thought that the only way I could get to heaven was do good things, not do anything bad, and then I get my way into heaven. I didn't fully understand that on the cross Jesus had paid my sacrifice, and I suppose, I guess that's the way so many of us maybe go through life, thinking that, you know, if we're good enough, that come the end of our life, that, you know, we'll have enough points there, and as it was, to get us into heaven, and that as long as we're not as bad as somebody else, the murderers, the whatever out there, you know, that's maybe our bar. But the Bible makes it quite clear that, you know, we're all sinners. You know, we've all fallen short of the standard that God has set. So like I said, even as an 8 or 9 year old, I knew that I was a sinner. I knew that I was way short of the standard that God had set. So that, like I said, that went on for a couple of years, and it was only until I was 12 years old. I can remember very clearly I was in a children's camp. It was a boys' camp that particular year. I can remember the room we were in. I remember the guy who was preaching. I had no idea what he was preaching on, but it all became very clear and very simple. I realised that not only did Jesus die, but in dying He took my sin, and He paid the sacrifice for my sin, that God actually poured out His wrath and His judgment onto Jesus when He died on that cross. So that was the period in my life where it all made sense, and I guess I could say I was truly saved, not because of anything I had done, because I recognised that Jesus had done it all for me, and I believe that in my heart. And you know, in Romans 10:10 it talks about, if we believe in our heart that Jesus died for us, and if we confess it with our mouth, then we'll be saved. You know, and so that's at that age, that's what I did. I believed it in my heart, and I guess I started to tell some of my friends, and you know, even in school then, as I went through secondary school, I didn't hide away from the fact that I was a Christian. So I suppose going through secondary school, it was quite easy in the sense I surrounded myself with Christian friends. At school we had a Christian fellowship that met up once a week. Outside of school I was involved in worship in the church. I played keyboard and piano, and I still do, and it's something that I'm passionate about. So I guess my life revolved around church and Christian meetings, and the majority of my friends were Christians. So there was nothing really to sway me off of the walk of God. So like I said, throughout secondary school and even throughout university, there was life didn't really throw anything at me that was going to shake my Christian faith. So I went to university and came home and started working in the family business, and I met my wife Lynette and we got married in 2008, and I suppose that's maybe when the reality of life set in, and things just perhaps didn't go according to the plan that I had in my head. In fact, some things took a terrible turn, and we all face that, and it's, and for some people that may be health issues, it may be financial issues, whatever the thing is. Some stage in our life we're going to come across those, but as a Christian, I found that God was there with me. The Bible says that trials and tribulations will come in this world, but Jesus says He has overcome them, and He was there every step of the way, and I have no doubt there will still be things as God willing, we live out our life together as a family. There will be still things that that life throws at us, but I thank God that I've proven Him. I can testify to His faithfulness, that He is there, and He'll see us through things. He doesn't lift us out of situations. He doesn't make the situation go away, but He brings us through. I love, there's a story in the Bible where Jesus tells the disciples to go across the lake, and He meets them on the other side, and He sends them off in a boat, and halfway across the lake a terrible storm arises, and they think they're fearful for their lives, they think they're going to die, but just at that instant Jesus comes walking on the water and He says, "Fear not." But to me, the part of that story sticks out the most is Jesus said, "I'll meet you on the other side," and He did. He didn't take them out of the situation. He didn't make the winds and storms go away. He let them go through that time, but He still met them on the other side. So I guess what I'm trying to say is just because you become a Christian, life doesn't become rosy and that all your problems disappear. But I thank God He is faithful, and He knows where we're at. He's not a lofty, distant God that is somehow looks down and has no concern for us. The Bible says the moment we're saved, we have the privilege and the right to be called the children of God. I can call Him Father, and I'm His son, and I thank God for that relationship. I thank God for times in my life where He's rebuked me, because that's what a loving father does. But I thank Him for the times He just puts His arm around you, and He carries you through. So I guess in wrapping this up, I want to just encourage you, for those who are watching this who are Christians, who are maybe going through a tough time, hang on. God is faithful. He will see you through. If you're not a Christian, can I just really encourage you, put your trust in the Lord, ask God into your life, believe what He has done on the cross has paid the price for you to get to heaven, and not only become a Christian because it's a ticket to heaven as such, but because He gives you the strength and just the ability to live this life to its fullest. I thank God for, I suppose, keeping me from the things of the world that drag you down. There was a period in my life for a short while where I thought maybe the things of the world look enticing, and for a period of a few weeks I dipped my toe in the water, so to speak, but I soon realised that there was nothing compared to the relationship and being with God, and having Him daily in your life, to be able to spend time reading His Word in the Bible, to pray with Him, and to hearing His leading and guiding in your life. There's no greater thing. So can I encourage you, if you're not a Christian, and if you're concerned about what happens at the end of this life, put your trust in Him, ask Him into your life, and He will save you. Again, Romans 10:10 says that if we believe in our heart that Jesus died to save us, He will, and if we confess with our mouth, He'll save us. So, thank you for watching.